Zerandani, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Kingdom Hearts manga, which, oh my gosh, oh, yeah, this is a thing. So the Kingdom Hearts manga is honestly a really interesting thing, but not very many fans actually talk about it. Very much. Obviously, there are some fans that are like, oh, yeah, I remember that. That's actually really good. But no one really talks about it. Pretty much everything that you hear about Kingdom Hearts is that of the main series, the video games. Most fans will not even bat an eye. And when they hear, yeah, Kingdom Hearts has manga, they're like, wait, really? Now, obviously, some people have talked about it briefly, but a lot of the issues come in when you realize that these have had a lot of issues. So, first off, let me explain. First, originally, the Kingdom Hearts manga were produced by Tokyo Pop, which there aren't that many of these specifically around, but you'll notice one of the ways that you'll be able to tell if it's actually a Tokyo Pop version is if it's short. Especially if it's an older one. So Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, and I believe that there's one other. I'm not 100% certain which one it is. But, yeah. I'm not, like I said, I don't remember exactly which one it is, but I know that it's for sure there's Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Chain of Memories. I only have, of the Tokyo Pop versions, I only have Kingdom Hearts 2, but I do have the new version of both Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2's first volume, which is made by Yen Press. These are amazing. Now, there's not going to be much of a difference between the Tokyo Pop version and the Yen Press version. The only real difference that you're going to notice as you're flipping through these is that, if you get both versions, is that these are just longer. Taking 2 volumes, maybe more, depending on which one you have, and continuing the story. So, if you're going to be getting one version, make sure that you get, if you're going to be getting a specific thing, make sure you get just that one version, and you don't pick up the Tokyo Pop version, because, yeah, that's just not as good. Instead, like I said, get the Yen Press version. Now, why exactly would I decide to make this video is probably the biggest question that needs answering. The simple answer is, these are amazing. They take this a lot of the story that was within the original games, and they just expand on it. My first interaction with the Kingdom Hearts manga was back when I was in high school, I believe, and I decided to pick up or borrow one of the copies of Days, I believe. Yeah. Now, as I was reading through it, I was like, this makes no sense. What's going on here? And the reason for that was because at the time, I was an idiot and didn't understand that manga were read this way instead of the other way. And yes, I was that idiot. I was so used to normal books at that point that I just it didn't even come to my mind that, oh yeah, you should read these in the opposite direction because they're manga. And yeah. Also, I had very little interaction with Japanese culture besides Kingdom Hearts at that point and Pokemon. So, yeah, that's a thing. But the point is that these add so much story, and one of the things that I noticed, especially with Days, is that they get to expand a lot on the different characterizations between the different characters. Getting to see how each of these characters interact with one another. With Days, we get to see a lot more interaction between the different members of Organization 13, which, keep in mind, there's not much. In Days, most of the interactions between the different members, you have to go out and look for it yourself. And sure, there are moments where they'll actually talk to you while you're on missions, but the problem is that if you've only really gone through with the movie version that's on 2.5, then you're not going to actually... or no, it is in 1.5. So if you go through that in 1.5, you're not really going to understand things as well as you probably should. And there's so much information in there that it's just like, the heck? What the heck is going on here? Why are you... What? There's just a lot more information and a lot more interaction between the different characters. And yeah. Also, can I just say that I am so glad that I'm kind of glad that Chain of Memories, the manga, did not deal at all with the frickin' card system. Basically, the only thing that you're using cards for in Chain of Memories is to that they're doing within the manga is just unlocking the doors. They're completely ignoring the fact that you have to use your cards in order to actually fight. And I am so glad that it understands just how much people hated that, and they're not even going to put it in the manga. It's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. But there's obviously a lot of really cool stuff going on there. And it's actually funny because of the fact that they actually deal with a lot of the situation with why exactly aren't Donald and Goofy helping out that much? Well, it looks like they're just standing in the background, ready to fight, but then they're just not. And to a certain degree, it makes sense because of the fact that in Chain of Memories, you hardly ever use them. Sure, they would help you out occasionally, but most of the time you'd have to use a card and you'd have to find them, and it's a huge challenge to... And honestly, I think a lot of people just forget that they even exist if you're playing through Chain of Memories. And yeah, but there is one more thing that is honestly really interesting about Chain of Memories. The fact that they actually put a lot more of Riku's story. They don't put much of it in there, but to a degree, they talk more about it. Putting the first moments of him being in there really early into the manga, which looks to be about halfway through the first volume back when it was Tokyo Pop. And we get to see a lot of Riku's story, getting to see what exactly was going on with him. Now, obviously, Riku's story is a very quick part in the actual game, but having it actually go alongside Sora's story and basically jumping between them actually helps to understand a bit more of the story between them. While Sora is dealing with all of his stupidity, Riku is going through and just trying to get through, trying to deal with Ansem. And while they don't get to actually go over much of the story that he has, they still get to actually help people understand, oh, this is when Riku actually came in. This is what Riku has been up to. Riku has actually been climbing through the ranks at the same time as Sora, with only lagging a little bit behind considering the fact that he's in the basement. There's a lot to that, and it's kind of hard to explain, but honestly, I really love the way that they actually handled it. Chain of Memories really did a good job with telling the story, and I love that. And the main reason I'm using Chain of Memories as the example is because of the fact that that is currently the one that I've read the most of. But there's also that aspect with all of these that gets to just have fun with these characters. They get to have fun, and that's basically the big thing that's going on with Chain of Memories. You actually get to see these characters being friends, which a lot of the time you don't get to see very much within the actual games because you're constantly going from moment to moment. And honestly, even if you're not necessarily a huge manga fan, I think that you should at least give these a chance and take the manga from just start with Kingdom Hearts 1. If you've played Kingdom Hearts, all of the Kingdom Hearts games, pick up the manga and basically just give them a chance. Read through them at least once. Now, the biggest issue, though, is that there's not just manga. There's also light novels. There are light novels for each and every single one of them. And luckily, a lot of these are just the novel, which is basically taking one moment and going through it entirely. And basically going through the entire game in a very quick manner. I believe that 100% that Birth by Sleep is just the novel, and Coded is just the novel, and also I believe Union Cross is also just the novel, so if you're looking for that, then definitely make sure to check that out. But I believe that that is just back cover stuff, so yeah, just be aware of that. I'm not 100% certain what that is, but yeah, seriously, because of what I just talked about in my previous video, probably check that out as well. I'm going to be checking it out eventually and seeing how important that is and what that has within its story. But I'm not going to talk about that right now because I haven't actually gotten a chance to do that. And I'm also behind on manga as it is. So, oh, there's so much to talk about. And like I said, we'll talk more about this as we get closer to the new series. And yeah. But seriously, give these a chance and just read through them a few times. Personally, I'd say if you're going to start with any, maybe check out Chain of Memories, because it's going to be that one that you're just going to be like, I don't want to play through the game. And if you're one of those people, then read the manga, because it just helps a lot and makes things a lot easier to read through. Do watch the cutscenes though, because like I said, a lot of even though they don't cut out much, the big thing that they cut out is that of frickin' Riku's story. So especially watch through Riku's story, because there's so much stuff that is added just by watching the cutscenes. But the manga does go heavily over Sora's story, so definitely check that out. And yeah. Also, there is a Dream Drop Distance manga, I believe. So, yeah. Basically, every single game has something, whether it's a novel or a manga. So, yeah, check those out. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. Of course, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment, so that we can talk about it in a future video. And of course, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, yeah, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our social medias, our other channels, and ways you can support us financially, including the merch store, the book, and of course our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on